All right, so today we are going to see agile process. So far we have seen like what is software testing techniques, software testing process like SDLC, and also we have seen how we need to work on manual testing project. So now I'm going to introduce you agile testing. So how exactly the agile process works in real environment, and after that we are also going to see Jira tool, how we can use Jira tool. Okay, so these are the topics which we are going to learn as part of this module. So this is the third module in manual testing. Okay, so as part of today's session we are going to see these are the items like what is agile, what are the advantages, disadvantages, and then we will see some of the most important terminologies in Scrum or Agile, and then I will show you a few examples. Okay. All right. So first one. So let us start with Agile model, Agile methodology, Agile process. So the terms are different, guys. So context is same. Some people will say Agile model or Agile methodology or Agile process. All of them same. Okay. So what exactly Agile means? So first we need to understand the definition, and then we will go with further. So Agile is basically iterative and incremental model. So Agile is basically iterative and incremental model, or which will follow iterative and incremental approach. What exactly mean? So iterative means what? So same kind of process we are repeating again and again. So that is the meaning of iterative. So same kind of process we are repeating again and again means requirements, getting the requirements, design, coding, testing. Again, same process, again we will continue. Again, requirement and again design, coding, testing. So the same kind of process we are repeating again and again. That is called as a iterative. So we have seen this kind of behavior in spiral model, right? And incremental. So what is incremental means? So incremental means we will implement some features at the beginning in the software, and then we will keep on adding new modules or new features on that particular existing software. So that is called as an incremental approach. So incremental means whatever the software we implemented with a few number of features, we'll keep on adding a new modules or a new feature into that. So that is called as incremental nature. So the agile is basically follow iterative and incremental approach. Iterative and incremental combination. So iterative means the same process we are going to continue again and again multiple times. Incremental means we keep on adding the new modules or new features on the existing raw software. So that is the nature of incremental, iterative and incremental approach. Okay. So agile is basically iterative and incremental process. So agile is an iterative and incremental process. It will follow the same approach. Okay. That is a basically definition of the agile. Now, one second. Okay, so Agile is an iterative and incremental process. So in Agile process, the main principle of Agile process is we will deliver the software uh, with piece of feature. Like say we will deliver the piece of software with few kind of functionalities. So for example, so the customer is have 100 features. He is expecting 100 features in the software. But in agile process, what you will do is we will not deliver 100 features as a one single software to the customer. At the same time, we no need to we don't want to wait customer wait for long time. Okay, if I have 100 features in your application, customer has to wait for long time till we completed development and testing, right? But in agile process, we have to follow mainly two principles. The first principle is customer no need to wait till the complete software is developed. Okay, so the customer no need to wait till the complete software is developed. That is the one principle we have to follow, because we have to deliver the software in bits and pieces. So for example, when I say 100 features given by the customer, we will implement 5 to 10 features first. We will develop and test it, and then we will release small piece of software to the customer as early as possible. And after that, meanwhile customer is working on that piece of software, And meanwhile, we will also take another 10 features and we will again develop and test it. And again, we will release another version of software to the customer. So like this, customer no need to wait for long time. And the same time, we are delivering the software. We are delivering the piece of software which contains some functionality or some features will be implemented and tested. So these are the main two principles we will follow in agile process. And third principle is we can accommodate the changes from the customer. So suppose initially the customer has given 100 requirements and we are already developed and tested and in the middle of the development phases somewhere, and customer came back and asked to change some requirement or accommodate some new requirement, we can easily accommodate those requirements. So whatever the requirements are changed, we can easily adopt those requirements into process. So that kind of facility we have in agile model. So these are the most important principles, guys. Okay, agile principles, remember this. So the first important principle is customer no need to wait for long time. Customer no need to wait for long time. And second thing is we develop and we develop, test and release a piece of software to the customer with few number of features. So customer no need to wait for long time. So we develop, test and release a piece of software to the customer which contains some number of feature with some few number of features. Okay, this is another principle. And the third principle of agile is we can accept or accommodate requirement changes. So this is not supported in any other models. Even we discussed about waterfall model or spiral model or any other model, classical models, this particular thing is not supported. It is not possible. First of all, only in the agile process which is possible. So at any time of software development process, we can accept and accommodate the requirement changes from the customer. Okay, so the first principle of agile is customer no need to wait for long time, so that we will deliver the piece of software every time with few number of functionalities. And we can accept or accommodate the requirement changes at any time of the software development process. So these are the agile principle, guys. And in agile process, there will be a good communication between developer, QA and customer. So they are collectively work towards one goal. Okay, so it is not like other models like waterfall model. So here the communication will be good and we can directly interact with the customer, directly interact with the developers, tester or product owners. Everybody together will sit and communicate, and multiple number of meetings will be conducted, and communication will be very very good in agile process. So communication, okay, there will be good communication between the team. We can say there will be a good communication between the customer, business analyst, developers as well as testers, and everybody will work together, collaboratively works together towards achieving the one goal, and that is we have to produce a quality product to the customer. Okay, so these are the few principles we have to remember, guys. So in agile process, it is a basically iterative and incremental approach. Iterative means what? The same process we are repeating again and again, like requirements understanding, design, coding, testing. Again one more round, requirement analysis, design, coding, testing. The same kind of process will repeat again and again. That is a iterative nature. Incremental nature is nothing but we will keep on adding a new features, new modules on the existing software. That is a incremental nature. So agile will support both. It is a iterative and incremental process. And the principles are customer no need to wait for the long time, so that we will develop a piece of software and deliver to the customer, and he is going to work on that software, and meanwhile we will also add new number of features, and this continues till we develop the complete software. Every time we are releasing the new version of the software to the customer with a few number of features, and customer is no need to wait, and he's keep on working on the piece of software, and once it is developed all the number of features, then the customer will get the full-fledged product which contains all number of features. And in this particular model we can accept or accommodate requirement changes at any time by the customer. So customer can provide the changes in the requirement at any time, we should able to accommodate them in our software. So that is a possibility we have in agile process. And there will be a good communication between customer, business analysts, developers, and testers in the agile process. Okay. So this is a basic understanding of what is agile. Now, let me just talk about what are the advantages and disadvantages are in agile. And one more thing is in agile process, delivery is very faster, guys. Okay, delivery is very faster because within the 2 weeks or 3 weeks time we will deliver the a piece of software to the customer. Okay, so delivery is very faster in agile process compared to other process models. Okay, so now let us see what are the advantages and disadvantages in agile process. So let me discuss some of the advantages and very important model, so please listen carefully. So advantages, so in advantages are requirement changes are allowed in any stages of development as we discussed earlier, and this particular model especially designed for that. So we can accept the requirements from the customer at any stage of the development process, or we can accommodate the requirement changes in the middle of the development. That possibility is there. That is a one of the advantage of agile process. And releases will be very faster, so customer no need to wait for the long time, or every week or every 2 weeks or 3 weeks we will release a new piece of software to the customer, and customer no need to wait for the long time, and there is a good communication between the team, and it is also very easy model to adopt in our company. So nowadays most of the companies are following the agile process. Okay, so these are the advantages, but what is the disadvantage? So the disadvantage in agile process is there is less documentation. There is less documentation. Sometimes there is no documentation also. Why? Because in waterfall and other models, we have used documentation like FRS document, design document, low level design, high level design, test plan. Everything is a documented properly. Clear cut documentation will be there in other models. But in agile process, we don't have that much of documentation. Very less documentation we will have. Because the reason is here the releases are very faster. Within 2 weeks and 3 weeks, we have to release one software to the customer, one piece of software to the customer. So in that particular short period of short span of time, we cannot create any documentation. Okay, if I start writing any documentation, it takes a lot of time. Rest of the when you compare it with the other tasks, documentation takes a lot of time. So in the agile process, we are not more focused on the documentation. Okay, very less documentation we will have, but we will have more number of meetings. In those meetings we will discuss the requirements very clearly, but we don't provide any kind of documents like FRS document or design documents. Okay, most of the times the documents will be very less, and always we will discuss the requirement in the meetings with the product owner and developer and rest of the team, and we'll get the requirement from them, and we will write the test cases and we'll proceed further. But when you compare with other models, in agile model the documentation is very less. So the less focus on design and documentation, since we deliver the software very faster. So this is a one of the main disadvantages in agile process. These are only disadvantage we have with agile model, and rest of them are advantages. Okay, so this is all about agile process. It is a process model with iterative and incremental approaches. Remember, guys. So when if anybody asks you what is agile, means agile process will follow two approaches: iterative and incremental approaches. Okay, now let us see what is Scrum. So this is a very popular term we may hear, especially in agile terminology. So now let us understand what exactly Scrum means. Very important terminology. So please concentrate on this. If you have any questions, we will see later. So what is Scrum in agile? What is Scrum in Agile? And sometimes people may also ask, what is the difference between Agile and Scrum? So people will have a lot of confusion between these two. So Agile and Scrum. So most of the people also think both are same. Okay. So let me just clarify exactly what it is. So Agile is basically a process model. Agile is a process model. And what is a Scrum is? A Scrum is a kind of a framework through which we will develop and test the software, and finally we release the software to the customer. So Agile is basically to define the principles, okay, the how the process should be, and to follow that process or to follow the principle, Scrum is a kind of a framework which will help us. Okay, so Agile is a kind of a process, a defined process with some principles. So to follow the principles, so we have something called a Scrum framework, and this will help us to follow the principle of Agile. So that is a basic difference between Agile and Scrum. So simply say Agile is a defined process, like which says we have to follow like this, we have to follow these principles. That is Agile. But Scrum says how to follow them and how to implement those principles, how to follow those principles, whatever is defined in Agile. So that is said by the Scrum. So Scrum is a kind of a framework which will help us to develop and test the software in Agile process. Okay, that is a basically Scrum. So let me write the definition here. So Scrum is a framework through which we build the software product by following agile principles. As I said, what are the agile principles before? So by following those agile principles, we will develop the software and we'll test the software. We release the software to the customer. So that is basically called as a Scrum. A Scrum is a framework through which we build a software product by following agile principle. So that is a basic difference between Agile and Scrum, guys. Agile is a defined process with some principles. And to follow those principles, the Scrum will be used. Scrum is a framework through which we build the software product by following Agile principles. Okay. And one more thing. In the Scrum, there are set of people will be involved. Okay, in the Scrum process there are a set of team will be involved, so we can call all of them together is agile team. Okay, or we can say Scrum team. So what are the people are involved in the Scrum team? So in the Scrum team we have something called product owner and Scrum master, development team and QA team. So these are the four types of people will comes under Scrum team, remember guys. Okay, so normally Scrum includes a group of people, like we can call them as a Scrum team, and normally contains 5 to 9 members. Okay, 5 to 9 members. So that is called as a Scrum team. So Scrum includes a group of people called as a Scrum team. Normally contains a 5 to 9 members. So what are those people? Product owner and a Scrum master and all people who are working under development and all people who are working under QA. So these are all people comes under Scrum team. Scrum team. So Scrum includes a group of people called as Scrum team. Normally 5 to 9 members will be there. And product owner, Scrum master, dev team, and QA team. So these are the four types of people involved in the Scrum team. Now let us understand what are the roles of these people. So what product owner will do, and what is the responsibility of the Scrum master, and what are the responsibilities of the developers and QA team. And one more important thing, guys, in agile process, okay, everybody will work together as a one single team. Even QA, developer, product owner, Scrum, all these people will work for one particular product. And the ultimate goal of the agile, the process we follow is to deliver the quality product to the customer as soon as possible, as shortest time. Okay, so that's the main goal of agile. So these are the four types of people: product owner, Scrum master, dev team, and QA team. So these are the four type of people will be involved in the Scrum team. Now let us see what are the roles and responsibilities of these people. Okay, so the first, well, let us start with the product owner. Okay, let us start with the product owner. So who is a product owner? What he will do? So the product owner basically define the features of the product. So product owner is an actual person who will write the features of the application, and he's the guy always contacted to the customer. He will always contact with the customer and get the inputs or get the requirements from the customer, and he will take care of defining all the features of the product. So that's the one of the main responsibility of the product owner. He's a separate role, guys. He's a separate designation. And the second one is he's prioritize features according to the market value. So for example, he collected all the features or functionalities from the customer, and once he collected, he will prioritize them. So what are the main features are really required to the market or customer? So he will prioritize that, and he will adjust those features and priority every iteration. So for example, he has 100 features to be developed for the product, and among 100 features, he will decide what are the features to be implemented first, and what are the features to be implemented in the next cycle, or what are the features to be implemented in the third cycle. So he will adjust the features according to the priority in every iteration or in every cycle as needed. And finally, he may accept or reject the work result. Suppose he has sent some of the story or some of the features to the developers and testers. They have developed and tested, and once the software is done, once a piece of software is developed, they have to give a demo to the owner, product owner. So they have to demo the product to the product owner. They have to they have to show what are the features they have developed and tested. And if the product owner likes those features, then he can accept it. Suppose if doesn't like it, or something is not working, something is designed something indifferently, so he can also reject that. So he is a main thing, he is a main guy, product owner. So he is a the first point of contact. So he will always contact the customer or talk to the customer, get the features or requirement from the customer, and then he will assign the all the features and functionalities to the developer and testers, and process will go on. So product owner responsibilities. Okay, he will define the product features. This is a main responsibility of the product owner. Okay, in agile and scrum process, guys, there is a different terms you can hear. So we have to understand those terms first of all. Then we will see the entire process step by step. So the first role in scrum is a product owner. The product owner responsible for define the features or define the functionalities of the product. But how he will know the product functionalities? He will talk to the customer, he will get the input from the customers. Okay, so first role, product owner. The second one is a scrum master. So this is a kind of a separate role, guys. Only the scrum master will be there only in the agile process. And remember, scrum master is a different role and different person will be there, and he is not a developer, he's not a tester, or he's not belongs to any other manager or any other management activities. So scrum as scrum master is a specific role. Okay, and the main role of scrum master is he is facilitating and driving the agile process. He'll facilitate and the driving the agile process. Let us try to understand what exactly it is. So scrum master is aware of entire agile process. He know each and every activity in agile process. He know how to drive the process, and he make sure rest of the people like developer, testers, and everybody who is or there in the project team, the scrum master make sure people will follow agile process properly or not. And also he will facilitate. Suppose if somebody is not aware of agile process, he will make aware, he will give you some awareness on the agile process to the team, and he will people make understand the process, and then he make sure everybody is following the process or not. He is facilitating and driving the process. Means he will take care of entire process, guys. Okay, from the beginning of the project to till we deliver the software to the customer, each and every stage, each and every step, the scrum master will take care. He is a main guy responsible for facilitating and driving the agile process. And most of the meetings will be conducted by the scrum master and organized by the scrum master. And he's not a developer, not belongs to tester, or not belongs to any other management role. A scrum master is a specific role who is having a skill set on agile process. Okay, the main role of scrum master is facilitating and driving the agile process. And the last team is dev and qa team. Development and qa team, what they will do is they will develop the software and qa will test the software. Development testing the software is a responsibility of the developers and qa. Okay, again, developers will design the software, right? Unit testing, integration testing, coding. So these are the tasks done by the developer. And qa, so qa will understand the requirement, writing the test cases, executing the test cases, bug reporting. So these tasks are common everywhere. So developers and qa is responsible for developing and testing the software. So these are the main roles we have in the scrum: product owner, scrum master, dev team, and a qa team. So product owner is responsible for writing the requirements, writing the features. And how he will know that? He will always talk to the customer, get the input from the customer, and write everything. And scrum master, he is the guy responsible for facilitating, driving the agile process. He will take care of entire process. He's acting as a leader. Okay, so he will make sure everyone is following the process properly or not. And if there are any blockers, or if there is any miscommunication between the team, or if there is any other issues, he's a responsible guy to solve those issues. Scrum master. And developers and qa, normally they will develop the software and test the software. So these are the main roles which we have in scrum process, agile scrum process. Okay, these are the different roles we can see in the scrum process. Now let us understand few important, very important terminologies in agile. Very important. And after that we will discuss the process, how the process will go. Okay, first we need to understand the terminology very clearly. Okay, so let me just write the some terminologies here, and then we will discuss. And if you have any queries, we will discuss at the end of the session, guys. Okay, all right. So now the scrum terminology. So what are the different terms which we need to understand in the scrum? Very important. So the first term is user story. User story. What does user story mean? User story mean a feature or a module in a software. A feature or module in a software called as a user story. So normally in our classic models, we call them as a functionality, or we can call it as a feature, right? But here we don't use such type of terms. Here we call as a user story. So whenever we say story or user story, that represent a feature or a module in a software. That is user story. And epic, what is epic? Epic means a collection of multiple stories. Epic is nothing but a collection of user stories, or we can say it is a huge requirement. And the epic can be derived in multiple stories. So one epic we can split into multiple stories. That means a user story is a feature or a module in a software, and a collection of user stories we can call it as a epic. Or we can say epic is a larger requirement and user story is a smaller requirement. And user stories will be derived from epics, and these things will be prepared by business owner or product owner. So product owner is a responsible guy to prepare user stories and epics while interacting with the customer. Okay, user story means a small feature and module. So in agile process we don't use term called functionality, or we don't use term called feature. Okay, always we call as a user story. So whatever is product owner is defined, which is a user story. So product owner will define the features of the product in the form of user stories. So I'll show you how user story look like. So product owner will define the features in the form of user stories in the form of epics. Okay, this is another term. So user story is a smaller requirement or a feature or module in a software. Epic is a collection of user stories. Now, there is one more term called product backlog. What is product backlog? Product backlog. So product backlog is a list of user stories prepared by the product owner at the beginning of the process. Okay. So if you start your agile process at the beginning of the process, what we need to have, we need to know the requirement from the customer. So who is the guy responsible to get the requirement from the customer? Product owner. So he is the guy who will prepare the features of the product in the form of stories and epics. And product backlog is a kind of a document, a kind of an Excel file or Excel sheet, which contains all the stories defined by the product owner. Okay, so product backlog contains all the stories defined by the product owner. That is called as a product backlog. And this will be prepared by the product owner at the beginning stage of the agile process. Whenever you start developing and testing the project, at the first step, product owner will prepare the product backlog by taking all the requirement from the customer and convert them into the stories and epics, and they will put them as a list, as an Excel document or somewhere, and then we can call it as a product backlog. So product backlog contains list of user stories prepared by product owner. That is a product backlog. Now we have another term called a sprint. A sprint. What is sprint? A sprint is a period of time or a span of time to complete user stories. That means, suppose there are some user stories, means some of the functionalities, and we will take some time to develop and test those features in our software. That period of time is called as a sprint. Okay, or that period of time is called as sprint, or we can also call as iteration. This is another term. Okay, we can call it as a first sprint, second sprint, third sprint. Similarly, we can call it as a first iteration, second iteration. These are the technical terms. So what is sprint or iteration means? A period of time or span of time to complete user stories. Complete user stories in the sense, you should complete the design, development, testing, everything. The entire process should be completed for that particular or those particular features. Okay, that is called as a sprint, and the sprint is decided by the product owner and the team. Okay, so the product owner will sit together with all the team and will decide how much time is required to develop those stories and to develop the testing. Okay, that is usually 2 to 4 weeks of time. That is called as a sprint or iteration. So a period of time to complete user stories, which are decided by the product owner and team. So product owner will not decide how many features should be, how many stories should be developed and implemented in one particular sprint. So he will sit with the team, and all the team members together will decide. Like suppose product owner is created, let's say 100 stories. Developers and tester will not complete all 100 stories in within one sprint. They will pick some stories among 100 stories, like 5 to 10 stories, and they will develop and test in one sprint. And at the end of the sprint, we will deliver one piece of software to the customer. And that sprint duration always will be 2 to 4 weeks of time, a very short period of time. And within 2 to 4 weeks of time, we will deliver a piece of software to the customer, which contains some functionality, some working functionality. Customer should be able to work with that functionality. Okay, so sprint or iteration is a period of time to complete the user stories. Complete the user stories in the sense, development and testing both should be completed within that span of time, and decided by the product owner and team. Not only product owner, with the team, along with the team, both together they will decide the sprint duration. Sprint duration, at the same time, how many stories should be developed and test during the sprint will be decided by the team. And the sprint duration will be 2 to 4 weeks of time. So this will be changing, depends on the company. So company to company, the duration also will be changed, but at least 2 weeks should be there. Minimum 2 weeks, maximum 4 weeks. Okay, that is called as a sprint or iteration. Now the next term, sprint planning meeting. Sprint planning meeting. So what is sprint planning meeting? So sprint planning meeting is a meeting conducts with the team. Team is nothing but again product owner, scrum master, developers team, testing team, everybody involved in the team to define what can be delivered in the particular sprint or duration. So sprint planning meeting conducts by the team to define what can be delivered in the sprint or what can be delivered in the sprint or duration. So as I said before, we have something called product backlog, right? So in the product backlog, what we'll have, we will have all the user stories. And what is a sprint? Sprint is a duration in which we have to develop and test some of the features. What is sprint planning meeting means? During sprint planning meeting, team will decide what are the stories we have to develop and test and release to the customer in that particular sprint. So that will be decided during sprint planning meeting. So two things will be main focus in sprint planning meeting. What are those? The first thing is how many stories we have in the backlog, how many stories we are going to develop and test during the sprint, and what is the duration of the sprint. So these things will be discussed during sprint planning meeting, and most of the times it will be 1 day meeting. Okay, whenever you start a project in the first day itself, you will have sprint planning meeting with the team. Okay, you have sprint planning with the team. So sprint planning meeting is conducts with the team to define what can be delivered in the sprint and duration. Okay, so that is a main intention how to have sprint planning meeting. Next one. Just a second. Okay, and the next terminology is sprint backlog. Sprint backlog. So what is sprint backlog? So here we have understood what is product backlog. So what is product backlog means? So what is product backlog means? Product backlogs contains a list of user stories prepared by the product owner, which contains all the user stories. What is sprint backlog? Sprint backlog contains the committed stories by dev and QA for specific sprint. See this, guys. So what product manager will do is product manager will prepare all the stories in the product backlog, but we are not going to develop and test all the stories in one sprint. We will define multiple sprint. We will implement and we will test those stories in multiple sprint cycles. Okay. And what are the stories we are going to develop and test in the particular sprint? So those stories are comes under sprint backlog. That means once the product owner says like I have 100 stories in my product backlog, then developers and the QA will choose some of the stories for developing and testing in that particular sprint. And those list of stories called as sprint backlog. It is just like a product backlog, but the only the difference is product backlog contains all the stories from the product. Every story will be written in the product backlog. But in the sprint backlog, we have only few number of stories which are committed by the dev and QA. So dev and QA is accepted. So these are the stories we are going to develop and test within the period of sprint time. And those stories are called as sprint backlog. So sprint backlog is nothing but a list of committed stories by dev and QA for a specific sprint. So for each sprint, the sprint backlog will be changed. Okay. So from the product backlog, we will choose some of the stories and decide those stories will be developed and tested in that particular sprint. And those stories are called sprint backlog. And this is a, we can say this is a subset of the product backlog. Okay. So that is a sprint backlog. Now there is one more terminology called as Scrum meeting. So what is Scrum meeting? So Scrum meeting means in the Agile, especially in the Scrum, every day we will have 15 minutes of meeting every day. This is called as a Scrum meeting, or we can say Scrum call, or we can say stand-up call. Multiple names people will call. I'll say Scrum call or stand-up meeting, which is a Scrum meeting. And this particular meeting conducted by the Scrum Master. So Scrum Master is responsible for facilitating and driving the process. So if there are any blockers, if there are any requirement missing, or if developer is not able to do something or tester is not able to complete something, the Scrum Master will take care of it. And Scrum Master will track the entire status of, which is following in the agile process. So Scrum meeting will be conducted by the Scrum Master every day, 15 minutes, hardly 10 to 15 minutes with the team, like even including product owner, developers, and testers. Everybody will be involved in that meeting, and within the 15 minutes, everybody should say the status. What are the tasks they have completed yesterday? What are the tasks planned today? And what are the tasks are planned for tomorrow? Okay. And if there are any blockers while doing their task, if they face any challenges or if there are any blockers, if there is any delay, we have to clearly discuss in this particular meeting. That is called as a Scrum meeting. And this meeting is mainly focusing on three questions, guys. Everybody in the team should tell answers for these three questions. What are those questions? What did you do yesterday? What will you do today? And are there any impediments, means any blockers in your task? So that we have to discuss in this particular meeting. Every day, 15 minutes meeting will be conducted by the Scrum Master, which is called as Scrum meeting. And within a sprint, there are multiple Scrum meetings. Every day, there will be some meeting, 15 minutes of meeting, which is called as a stand-up meeting, or we can say Scrum call. Everybody quickly update their status. Okay. And even solutions also we will think in that meeting itself. That is called Scrum meeting. And then one more meeting we have called sprint retrospective meeting. Retrospective meeting. So this meeting will be conducted only once after completion of the sprint. So sprint retrospective meeting will be conducted only once after completion of the every sprint. Suppose in the entire project cycle, if we have a 5 sprints, for every sprint, at the end of the sprint, we will have a retrospective meeting. So what is retrospective meeting means? Here we exactly discuss about the uh, like what went well, what went wrong, and what are the improvements we have to do in the next sprint. So those things will be discussed during sprint retrospective meeting. Okay, so this is a kind of a meeting after completion of the sprint will be conducted. So conducts meeting after completion of the every sprint. The entire team, including both the Scrum Master and product owner, along with the dev, QA, everybody will participate in this meeting. And what they will think during this meeting? During this meeting, they will think what went wrong in our sprint, previous sprint, and what went well, and what are the any other improvements we have to do for the upcoming sprint. So these things will be discussed during sprint retrospective meeting. This is a meeting which will conduct only one time after completion of the sprint cycle. Remember. So what is the difference between Scrum meeting and sprint retrospective meeting? In the Scrum meeting, which will happen every day 15 minutes to discuss about the status of the project. And sprint retrospective meeting will happen only one time after completion of the sprint to discuss what went well, what went wrong, and what the improvements are needed in the upcoming sprints. To discuss that, we will have sprint retrospective meeting, and all these meetings will be conducted by the Scrum Master, and rest of the team will be involved in that meeting. That is called sprint retrospective meeting. Then story point. This is another important, very, very important term. Story point. So what is story point? So in the product backlog, as we discussed earlier, in the product backlog, right, we have list of user stories, all the stories defined by the product owner. And for that particular sprint, we will choose some of the stories and accepted. Dev and QA is accepted. Okay, so and so stories we are going to develop and test in that particular sprint. But how the developer and QA will choose those stories, on what basis they will pick up those stories and selected those stories to develop and test based on the story points. So during the sprint planning meeting itself, every story will be estimated by dev and QA. So estimation will be done using story points. In Agile or Scrum, we call it as a story point. So what is a story point means? Is a kind of a rough estimation. So like developer says, so and so story. Suppose let us say login is my story. For login, developer say I need this much of time, or I require this much of time to design and develop the story for the login. And the QA guy says, I required this much of time to write the test cases and executing the test cases, finding the defects and retesting the defects. This much time is needed for this particular story. So that is called as a story point. So story point is a rough estimation of user stories, will be given by dev and QA in the form of Fibonacci series. I'll tell you what exactly it is. So story point is nothing but a rough estimation given by the QA and developer for the stories. And based upon the story points, we will choose the stories and plan those stories for that particular sprint. Okay. Now let me tell you what is exactly story point. So story point is a rough estimation, right? For example, story points always given in the Fibonacci series format. Okay. What is Fibonacci series format? Let us say 0, 1. So 0 plus 1, 1. Again 1 plus 1, 2. Again 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 2, 5. And 5 plus 3, 8. Okay, this is a Fibonacci series. Okay, suppose when I say 1, so some companies, one story point is consider which is equal to 1 hour, or sometimes they consider one story point is equal to 1 day. That depends on the company. Okay, I say one story point which is equal to 1 hour, or the company will consider one story point which is equal to 1 day. That means 8 hours. 1 day means 6 to 8 hours. Okay, they don't consider 8 hours. They'll consider only 6 hours most of the time. Okay, so depends on the company. So they will consider one story point as 1 hour, or sometimes one story point is equal to 1 day. Now, suppose I have one story. Let's say I have one story. Let's say login story. For this, right? Developer says some number. So developer will give you some number. So developer will estimate the story. How much time is required for development? Let us say he said 5. So developer is given story point as a 5. 5 means what? 5 is equal to one story point equal to 1 hour. If I consider hours, one story point equal to 1 hour. So when I say developer 5 means what? 5 hours it will take. Okay, 5 hours the developer spent. And then QA also will give you the estimate story point. So tester is given, let's say, or QA is given 3 story points. So 3 story points means what? 3 hours to test that particular functionality. So 5 and 3. So 5 means what? 5 hours. 3 means what? 3 hours. Totally 8 hours. 8 hours. That means 1 day. Like this. So they will estimate the stories in the form of story points. And story point is a estimation given by the dev and QA for that particular story. And some companies will consider one story point equal to 1 hour, and some companies will consider one story point equal to 6 hours, or that means 1 day. Okay, so remember guys, so this is called story point estimation. We can call it as a story point estimation. Okay, now the next one is last one, burn down chart. This is another terminology, burn down chart. So what is this means? This is a kind of a graph prepared by Scrum Master, because he is the guy will taking care of entire process and getting the statuses from the team, and he will take care of how the process is going, what is the status, and it is going well or not. If there are any issues, he will take care. So that is the role of the Scrum Master. So here burn down chart means what? This chart shows how much work remaining in the sprint maintained by the Scrum Master daily. So after taking the status from the team on everyday Scrum meeting, he'll take the status from everybody, right? And at the same time, he will also calculate the story point. So how much estimation the dev and QA is given, and how much time they are exactly spending. Okay. Suppose I said for one story, okay, I said which will be completed, let's say 3 days. Okay, 3 days or 18 hours, almost 18 hours. Okay. And this is the estimation I have given initially at the time of sprint meeting. But once I started this feature, once I worked on the feature, it took more than 3 days, right? And then what happens automatically? Sprint cycle is affected. Okay, and then Scrum Master will ask you why you taken these many days, why you taken extra hours to complete this particular story. Then we have to give proper reason to justify that. Okay, and how the Scrum Master will know, like how much work is completed in the sprint, how much work is still pending. How the Scrum Master will know that? So he will prepare a chart called as burn down chart, and by seeing that chart, the Scrum Master will know exactly how much work is remaining in the sprint. Okay, so that is called burn down chart. This is a kind of a graph which will prepare by the Scrum Master. Okay, so these are the very, very important terminologies which we need to understand in Scrum. User story is a feature or module in a software. Epic is a collection of user stories. A story is representing the functionality. So from now onwards in Agile, we don't say functionality. We don't have FRS document. We have only stories. And a product backlog means which contains a list of user stories which are prepared by the product owner. Sprint or iteration means a period of time or span of time to complete the user stories. And the sprint cycle will be decided by the product owner and the team, along with the team, which is usually 2 to 4 weeks of time. Sprint planning meeting is a meeting conducts at the beginning stage of project where team will plan the stories. What are the stories you need to develop and test during the sprint cycle? And sprint backlog is contains a list of committed stories by dev and QA. Scrum meeting will be conducted by the Scrum Master along with the team 15 minutes every day. So they will discuss the status of the project. And sprint retrospective meeting will be conducted only one time after completion of the sprint to check what is went well, what is went wrong, and what are the improvements needed for the next sprint. And everybody in the team will be participated in the retrospective meeting. And story point is a rough estimation of the user stories. We have to tell how much effort you have to put, how much time is required to develop the story and test the story. Accordingly, we will estimate the story. And this should also happen during sprint planning meeting. This is the first meeting should happen. And that time itself, we have to decide that. And finally, burn down chart. So burn down chart is nothing but a kind of a status prepared by the Scrum Master, which clearly says how much work is we completed, how much work is still pending, and which is normally maintained by the Scrum Master on daily basis. Okay, so these are the most important terminologies which we need to remember in Agile process. So are you guys clear about this? Then we will proceed with the Scrum process now. Okay, so far we have understood the terminologies in Scrum, right? So now let me just share a small presentation and try to understand the whole process. Yes. Okay, so now just look at this, guys, and whatever the terminology so far we have learned, and let's try to see where exactly the things will happen. Okay, so here this is a first stage, guys. Okay, product owner is a first guy. He is always interact with the customer. He's always interact with the customer. So he will take the, this guy will take the inputs from executives or team stakeholders, customer, users. So these are all the people who are giving the inputs to the product owner. Okay, this is the first stage. And once he get all the requirements or feature from the customer, he will prepare a document called product backlog. So product backlog is prepared by the product owner. He will list out all the stories in that particular document. That is called as a product backlog. Then once the product backlog is ready, then sprint planning meeting will be happen. Sprint planning meeting. This is a first meeting, sprint planning meeting. And during this meeting, everybody in the team will be involved. And what they do in the sprint planning meeting, they will review all the stories in the product backlog, and they will choose or they will pick some stories for that particular sprint. And this after sprint planning meeting, there will be another backlog called sprint backlog will be there.
What is sprint backlog here? Sprint backlog is a list of story which are committed by the team. Team will commit. What are the stories can be developed and tested for that particular sprint? That is called as a sprint backlog. And once a sprint backlog is ready, once a sprint is planned, then sprint will start. Sprint is a period of time between 1 to 4 week sprint. And this is a one cycle. One sprint is a one iteration, one cycle. And during the sprint, whatever stories we committed in the sprint meeting, sprint planning meeting, which are there in the sprint backlog. So developers and testers both will work on those stories during this sprint cycle, that to 1 to 4 weeks of sprint. And during this particular cycle, every day for every 20 hours, there is a 15 minutes meeting called daily scrum meeting, or we can say stand up meeting. Okay, every 24 hours, that means every one day. So we will conduct that meeting, scrum master will conduct that meeting, and rest of the team will participate in the teaming, and they will give you updates and what is the plan yesterday and what is the plan today, what they are going to do tomorrow, and what are the blockers, what are the issues they have faced while development, while testing. So these things will be discussed during this scrum meeting, every day 15 minutes of meeting. And by taking all these statuses, scrum master will prepare burn down or burn up charts. And this particular chart says how much work is planned, how much work is completed, how much work is still pending. And this kind of information they will prepare or collect from this particular chart maintained by the scrum master. So after sprint cycle is completed, we will finish the work. That means we will have a piece of software which contains some features, some working functionality. And after finishing the work, we will have a sprint review. Sprint review. Sprint review is nothing but, again, what are all stories we have planned, what are the stories we have completed, and is there any bugs are available, all bugs are closed or not. So these things we will review internally, that is sprint review. And that is not a sprint retrospective review. Sprint retrospective review is a different, sprint review is a different. In the sprint review, we will check all the test cases, all the tasks we have planned during the sprint is completed or not, is there any open bugs, all bugs are closed or not, all test cases are executed or not. So these things we will review once. And also we will provide the demo to the, here we will provide the demo to the product owner. And if the demo is accepted by the product owner, then we will deliver that piece of software to the customer. And then we will do sprint retrospective meeting here. After completion of the first sprint, after completion of the second sprint, for every sprint, at the end of the sprint, we will do this meeting. And in the retrospective meeting, we will discuss these things. What went well, what went wrong, and what are the improvements we have to do in the upcoming sprints. So these things will be discussed during sprint retrospective meeting. So for every cycle of sprint, there will be piece of software will be delivered to the customer. And once we completed all the sprint cycles, at the end, the customer will get the complete product or full-fledged product which contains all the features, all the functionalities which is given by the customer. So this is agile process. Scrum is a framework. This is all about Scrum, and which the framework which will follow agile principles. Okay, so this is the end-to-end process of the agile. Now let us understand this. Just a moment. Okay, now let us move on to the next slide. Now you can just understand this. So throughout this process, there are three things you need to understand clearly. First thing is, what are the type of people will involve, what are their roles. That's one thing. Artifacts and ceremonies. So these three things we need to understand clearly in agile scrum process. So what are the roles? As we discussed earlier, product owner, scrum master, and team. So product owner will define the requirements and writing the stories. Scrum master will organize the meetings. He will drive the process, and team will perform the tasks like development and QA activities. They are the roles. Artifacts means what? What are the documents we have? Product backlog, sprint backlog, burn down chart. So these are the artifacts we will get in the Agile or Scrum. What are the ceremonies we do? Sprint planning, daily Scrum meeting, and sprint review or sprint retrospective review. So these are all comes under ceremonies. So in interview, people may ask, what are the roles will be involved in the agile? What are the artifacts you will have in the agile? Or what are the different ceremonies you will conduct in the agile process? Then you should be able to answer this. What are the ceremonies means? Sprint planning meeting, daily scrum meeting, sprint review. These are all comes under ceremonies. And what are the artifacts we have in agile? Product backlog, sprint backlog. What is the difference? Product backlog contains all the requirements, all the stories written by the product owner. A sprint backlog contains specific number of stories or committed stories by developer and QA. They are ready for development and testing. That is sprint backlog. And burn down chart managed by the scrum master, which says how much work is planned, how much work is completed, how much work is still yet to complete. So these details will be there in the burn down chart. This is also one of the artifact. So roles, artifacts, and ceremony. So these are the few important things which we need to understand in Agile Scrum process. Now, the next thing is Scrum board. What is Scrum board? So Scrum board is nothing but which contains the stories. So let us say we have a list of number of stories. In particular sprint, we have planned for some stories like dev and QA is planned some stories. And we will track the stories, like how many stories are there in to do section and how many stories are in progress, how many stories are in testing phase, how many stories are done. So we will maintain the scrum board and in day-to-day basis, and the scrum board will be updated. So previously, few years back, these things will be done manually. So they will establish one whiteboard, they will make multiple sections, and they will use some sticky notes papers. And in those papers, they have written some kind of stories, and they move on those papers in different sections. But nowadays, in the tools itself, we can do that. Especially Jira tool will provide a kind of a scrum board where we can move all the stories from one status to another status. Like stories in the to do section, we can drag to the in progress, we can drag to the testing. And once the testing is completed, we can move the stories to the done. And once the stories come to the done state, then that story is ready for demo. And after completion of the demo, we will release that software to the customer. So this is Scrum board maintained by the team, maintained by the whole team. And the Scrum board says how many stories we have planned, how many are ready for to do the stories, and how many are in progress, how many are completed testing, and how many are ready to deliver. So these information will be there in the Scrum board. So this is a Scrum board we will maintain during the process. Okay. Okay. So this is a Scrum board, guys. So we will maintain this. So whatever the tasks or activities we have discussed so far as part of agile process, each activity we can track using a tool which is called as agile management tool. Like Jira is a example. Jira is a tool in which we can define the product backlog, we can write all the stories, we can plan the sprint, we can also decide the stories for sprint backlog, and a sprint also we can create, and we can track the time and effort. Okay, and everything, like we can also do some test management activities, like we can write the test cases, we can execute the updates, we can execute the test cases, we can report the bugs, everything we can do in Jira itself. And before these tools are came into market, people are doing like templates using Excel files and track everything manually. But nowadays the tools will do everything. We can do all these activities, we can track everything in the tool itself. Even burn down charts, everything, reports, dashboards, everything will be prepared by the tool itself, just based upon our data. Okay, so everything will be done using tool itself. So this is all about agile and scrum processes. Now, let me discuss one important point. We have seen what is Scrum board. Now we have something called definition of ready and definition of done. What is the definition of ready and what is the definition of done? Suppose when if you want to start a task or if you want to start something, I need some input, right? For example, I just want to write a test cases. So to write the test cases, what should be ready before that? my stories will be ready. Okay, then I can start writing the test cases. So how we can define the readiness? Like a story should be very clear, and story should be testable, it should be feasible, and it is clearly defined, and every story is having some acceptance criteria. Okay, so if these parameters are clearly defined, then we can say that story is ready for development and testing. Okay, similarly, when we say definition of done, means when we say the story is completed, the story is done. When we say story is done for that particular story, developer will design that, develop that, unit testing will be completed, integration testing will be completed, and test cases will be created, testing will be done, sanity, regression, smoke, everything, and bugs will be fixed. Okay, there are no bugs in the story, and it is ready for demo, and demo is also completed. Then we can say story is complete. So all the development activities and testing activities should be completed. Then only we can say done. Story is done. Story is completed. Okay. So we use these terms: definition of ready, definition of the done. When I say anything is ready, these are the parameters we have to we have to consider. Similarly, when something is done, then we have to consider these parameters are satisfying or not. And if these parameters are satisfying, then we can say particular story is completed or done, and then it is ready for releasing to the customer. Okay, so that is a just meaning of definition of ready, definition of done. So if there is anything is missing, suppose story is created, but that is not more clear, that is not understandable by the tester or developer, and some information is lacking in the story, then it is not ready. So until unless we get that information, we have to wait. And if it is ready, then we start our task, and then we complete, and finally we say it is done once these parameters are satisfied. So that is called definition of ready and definition of done. Okay, so these are all important things which we need to understand in agile and scrum processes. Now I'll show you how the stories look like, how the product backlog, how sprint backlog looks like. Okay, I'll show you a sample example now. So let me open this document, and now you can just look at here. Let me just close this presentation just a second. Yeah, so now you can just look at this Excel, and this is a sample backlog, product backlog template. So normally how product, this is prepared by the product owner. Okay, this is not your responsibility or developer responsibility, which is prepared by the product owner. So how they will prepare, he will prepare some information like this, and this is a sample epic for the e-commerce application. For OpenCart application, this is a sample story, a sample epic. Means what? For a new e-commerce website to launch, the highest business value will be when a new user is able to buy an item from the website. So this is an epic. For that, we will have multiple stories, and these stories will be created by the product owner. Like registration should be there in your website to register a new account, and login should be there, a logout should be there, and user is able to search the product. And similarly, they will write multiple stories, and these are not exactly story, this is a feature. And for the feature, we will write a stories. They will convert each and every feature as a stories. These are the actual stories. Okay, so registration is a some feature we have in our application. How the product owner will write the story? So it will be more detailed. Like as a first time visitor to the e-commerce website, I want to register my account so that I can log into my application. So this is the actual requirement and expectation from the customer. As a customer point of view, he says like this: as a first time visitor to my e-commerce website, I want to register my account so that I can log into my application. This is the user story. And when the customer accept the story, new user should able to register account with the valid data, and that is the acceptance criteria. So every user story will associate with some acceptance criteria. Okay, and this is one user story. So every user story is having some ID, and from which feature, for which feature this user story is created, and this story is a new or which is already developed, or in progress, we will update the status later. And every story is having some acceptance criteria. So once acceptance criteria is met, then only the product owner approve the story. Like then only we will able to release these stories to the customer as a piece of software. Okay, so similarly, login is one feature. So how user story look like? As a registered user, I want to log into a website so that I can see my account details. This is the user story, user expectation. And what is the acceptance criteria? System must validate user credentials and allow login if credentials correct. This is the acceptance criteria. Similarly, another story is logout. So as a registered user, I want to log out from website so that no one else can't access my account. So this is expectation from the customer. So system must log out after login. That is the acceptance criteria. Similarly, user is able to search the products. That is a feature. So story is, as a user, I want to be able to search items so that I can add them to cart and do the payment. This is a user expectation, user story. And what is the acceptance criteria? User should able to search products and add them to cart. This is our acceptance criteria. Like this, for every feature in your application, there will be stories created by product owner, and these stories we will choose for sprint, specific sprint, and we will develop. Okay, this is a product backlog prepared by the product owner. So like this, there are so many stories we will have, and accordingly we will also have sprint planning meeting. So in the during sprint planning meeting, we will prepare a sprint backlog. So we will choose some of the stories, and then we will estimate them and we'll plan them for a specific sprint. Now how sprint backlog look like? If I just look at here, this is a sprint backlog. And again, same I pick user story ID. What are the features we have in that particular backlog, and what are the user stories? And here, additionally, we will add two columns: story points and sprint. So, what is a story point means? So, story point is a rough estimation I have told you, and this number should be given only Fibonacci number. We should not give randomly 2, 5, 6, not like that. So whatever the numbers we have in the Fibonacci series, normally we will give the number which is comes under Fibonacci series. Okay. So, and one story point is equivalent to either 1 hour or 1 day. It depends on the company. So here 8 means 8 story points means if I consider this as hours, 8 hours. If I consider as a days means 8 days. And which is planned for sprint 1. And similarly, another story, the sprint story points are 5, and it is also planned for sprint 1. And the logout is also one of the user story, which is story points are 3 and which is planned for sprint 1. So after adding these stories, whatever hours or sprint story points we specify, that is exactly enough for particular sprint, because sprint is having only 2 to 4 weeks of time. During that time we should able to accommodate these stories. We should able to develop the stories, test the stories, and if there are any bug fixes, we should able to test those bug fixes. All these things should happen within the particular sprint. So accordingly we have to give the story points, and accordingly we have to choose the stories or plan the stories for that particular sprint. Okay, very very important. And this should happen during sprint planning meeting. It will be going like 1 day meeting. First day when a sprint when project starts, in the first day, throughout the day, 1 day people will spend on this particular meeting. And not only single sprint, they will decide multiple sprints also. What are the stories planned for first sprint? What are the stories planned for the second sprint? What are the stories planned for third sprint? Like what is the total duration of the project? And the total duration of the project will be split into multiple pieces, like 3 to 4 weeks. And every 3 to 4 weeks will be comes under one iteration or one sprint. And the stories will be planned for that particular sprint. Or if suppose any story is not able to complete in that particular sprint, then we plan that particular story or we'll postpone that story into the next sprint. Okay, suppose if you found any bugs in the first sprint, they are not fixed by the developer, those bugs will be again planned for the next sprint along with the new stories. So that's how the process will go on. So this is a sample example of sprint, sprint backlog. So this will be done during sprint planning meeting. Remember. Okay. Now, for every story, there will be development task, there will be testing task. So during sprint planning meeting itself, whatever the stories they have decided to develop and test, they also add task to that particular story. So for example, if a registration is one story, for that, what are the development tasks? So development task will be, they will understand the requirements, they design it, they coding it, they do unit testing, integration testing, coding review. The whatever the code they have done, they will review the code. And bug fixes. Suppose the tester is reported some bugs, so developer has to fix it. And whatever the meetings they conduct internally, the team meetings, all these are developer tasks. For that particular story, he has to complete all these tasks. Then only he say the story is completed from my end, developer point of view. Similarly, for the same story, QA also do some other tasks, like they will also understand the requirement. They write the test scenarios, test cases. We conduct the reviews, test case reviews, test data preparation, environment setup, test execution, retesting the bugs, internal team meetings, and automation testing. So all these things are tester jobs or tasks done by the tester. So once the tester is completed these tasks for that particular story, then tester says, I'm done with the story. I've completed the task in that particular story. Now the story is ready for demo. And we have to give the demo to the product owner, and the product owner may accept and reject. If he is accepting the demo, fine, we can, this is ready for development, this is ready for releasing to the customer. Our stories, the piece of software which contains whatever stories we have, if every story is working fine and demo is accepted by the product owner, now that piece of software is ready for releasing. So this is the whole process, agile and scrum process. Okay, so product backlog contains all the stories written by product owner, and sprint backlog contains the stories which are planned for specific sprint, along with the story points and sprint number and everything. And task, for every story there are definite tasks created by the developers and testers. Developer has to complete all the tasks from their end. QA also has to complete all the tasks from their end. Then only we will say a story is completed. For each story we have to do these tasks. Okay, in a sprint we have planned for 5 stories. For 5 stories we have to complete the developer task. Parallelly, QA also should complete the task within 2 to 4 weeks of time. The sprint duration also decided by the product owner, scrum master, along with the team during the sprint planning meeting. Accordingly, we have to follow. Okay, so this is all about agile process or agile methodology or agile model. Okay, so that's it, guys. And in the next session, I'll show you how to work with the Jira tool, how we can organize all these things in the Jira tool, how we can create an epics, how to create a stories, right? How to create a sprint, how to update the status, how to track the tasks, how to create the tasks. So all these things we will see in our Jira tool. Okay.